Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is the Road to Glory series where we try to turn $10 into $10,000 using PrizePicks. We're going to be recapping how the challenge is going so far. As you can see on the screen, I have yesterday's slip, which is day 2 of the challenge. We did have to restart because on day number 1 we took a big L on a 4-man play. So on this second day, I tried to play a little bit safer, not super safe, but a little bit safer, and did a 3-man power play. So we're gonna recap this slip, talk a little bit more as far as what to expect from the challenge, and I also want to take a moment to give you guys a chance to let me know what you want to see from the challenge, because if we continue on this trend of like a 6x per day type thing, we should be hitting our goal within like 4 or 5 days, which is super quick. And not saying that that wouldn't be a great thing, but on the realistic side of things, it's very unlikely that we hit a 6x play 5 days in a row. So I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. Should I continue a 6x? Should I kind of mix and match? One thing that I do want to stay away from though is the easy 1.5x to 2x plays. Those tend to have a lot of goblins, and as we all know, we've all taken a goblin that looks like it should be an easy cash, and it just completely chalks. So it's still risky. So if we're throwing a goblin in there, it you're still risking your money. So I'd rather risk for a decent payout than a cut payout and still be risking that same amount of money. I do want to stay away from 2x. The lowest I'm willing to do is like a 2.5. 2.5 and above x, but I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. So, all right, so going over this slip, not gonna lie, I was a little sweaty with this play. We had Cal Raleigh for 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, Anton Lundell for over 1 point, and George Kirby for 2 runs allowed at least. So with this one, the one that I was sweating at first was Anton Lundell. So he didn't cash this until period 2, like halfway through period 2, on his game. So that one was a little bit sweaty because I was just watching the game and or not watching the actual game. I was tracking stats on the ESPN app, and I didn't see any movement or many mentions of his name. So I was a little sweaty on that one. And then finally he cashes halfway through period 2. And then here comes the Seattle and Toronto game. So Seattle's up by 2. Kirby's, it's looking like he's starting off pretty good. And then out of nowhere on the 3rd inning, boom, we get a homer. And that cashes immediately. 2 runs go in with that homer. So then now we have Cal Raleigh. This one was the ultimate sweat, not gonna lie. He struck out on his 3rd at bat. So, on the 8th inning, I was sweating bullets. Not even kidding. I was just thinking, man, I'm gonna have to restart the challenge one more time. It's not looking good. And I'm over here just chatting with my buddy on Discord, and I'm just telling him, like, dude, if he homers on his last at bat, like, that's cash. That's immediate, an immediate win. And what do we know? Like, he homers on the 8th inning on his last at bat, to bring this slip home. So this one was a little bit sweaty, and that's what I want out of this challenge. I want it to be a little bit on the riskier side. If we win, obviously, the money that we get from this slip is going to be rolled over to the next slip. So on this next play, we're going to do $60 to buy. All right, so what you see on the screen is a couple slides that I threw in there. Some plays that I had submitted that are not part of the Road to Glory challenge. This is just something that I added on there because I do want to maintain a bankroll. I know this challenge is not going to be 100% all the time. No sports betting is 100% all the time. So I want to make sure that I'm not throwing in my own money. So with these slips, I'm ensuring that I have some money, at least $10 to restart the challenge every time in case it needs it. So on there, I do have a couple 4 mans, 3 mans, 2 mans. My personal favorite are the 6 man plays, in which I just throw in $1 or two on either CS2 Go, and then hopefully it hits. There's been a couple times where I'm like one leg away from a 6 man cash. There's been times where I'm like one leg away from 3 6 mans cashing. So it's again, it's just fun. I personally like to sweat out the big plays like that. But I don't throw in more than like $1 or two when I'm just doing it for fun. If I was doing like a flex Friday play, that's when I throw in like 25, $35 on there. But um, these are just for fun. I just kind of wanted to showcase a little bit of what happened yesterday. I think there was a couple plays that cashed for $20 each. I think there was three of them, and then two for like $10. So that's a lot of ammo for in case we got to restart the challenge. So if all right, so for our first prop of the Road to Glory slip today, it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers to go over 199 and a half passing yards. So for this one, it's pretty safe to say this one's gonna go over. On the last 10 games, he's hit it 80% of the time. I know that's going into last season. However, this does seem to be a favorable matchup with Pittsburgh projected to win. The defense that he's going up against is 30th ranked in yards allowed. So they allow about 267 pass yards. So this is looking pretty favorable. I would have taken his regular line. However, I'm not super confident with Aaron Rodgers, to be quite honest. I feel like he definitely has the capability, but I don't want to risk it on his regular line, knowing that I have a couple other players that are looking pretty good as well. It is Thursday night football as well, and honestly, last Thursday wasn't that good for me, so I'm playing a little bit safer this time around, saving more of my money for Sunday. But for the challenge sake, I'm going to be taking Aaron Rodgers for a discounted line just to see if we can stay alive for a Sunday play. So that's going to be our number one prop for our slip. All right, second prop of our slip is going to be TJ Watt to go over 1.5 assists. So, not much to say on this one. It's pretty straightforward. His last 5 games, he's hit it 100% of the time. He's always had at least two, with his last game having five. Especially with Pittsburgh projected to dominate the game, I don't see him not hitting this line. So, that's what we're throwing on our slip. All right, and for our final leg, we're gonna throw T. Higgins to go over 6.5 receiving targets. So on his last 5 games, he's hit it 60% of the time. So 3 out of his last 5. I feel like a lot of attention is gonna go towards Jamar Chase on the defensive side. So that's gonna hopefully have T. Higgins a little bit more open and appealing for Flacco to throw to him. So that's mainly the reason I'm picking him. I was debating on whether doing receiving yards because of his performance last game, but we're just going to go ahead and just keep it at targets because I don't know, for whatever reason, every time I take receiving yards, the quarterbacks just happen to throw it like absurd just throws where it makes it very difficult for the receiver to just make that catch. So I'm just going to stay away from receiving yards and go ahead and hit reception targets for our last leg. All right, guys, so there you have our second slip for our ladder. This is day 3 of our road to glory. So our last slip paid us $60, so we're throwing those $60 into this next one. We have a potential payout of $255, so that's about a four and a half, 4.25 multiplier there. And we're taking TJ Watt for 1.5 assists, Aaron Rodgers for 199.5 pass yards, and T Higgins for 6.5 reception targets. So technically day 3 of the challenge, second day of our ladder, because we took that L on day number 1 and we had to restart. But we're staying hopeful that this one hits. 255 potential payout is looking pretty good. If we 3x that, we're already almost at 1,000. So this challenge shouldn't take too long, but again, it is a little bit on the riskier side. So the potential of us hitting 6 days in a row is a little bit minimal, but that's part of the journey. That's part of gambling. But that's it for the day, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you're telling the slip, if you would have taken anything differently. All right, guys, before I head out for the day, I just wanted to mention I have 23 active slips where I just kind of throw in a mix of a bunch of other sports, so hockey, baseball, tennis, esports. I do have a little bit of a Discord community that I'm starting off with my friend. We're just kind of discussing back and forth some decent plays. We have some pretty good wins, like I showed you guys earlier. There's very small risk in there, but again, we're just doing this for fun. We're not professional or anything. We're throwing $1, $2, $5, $10 units on there, so it's nothing crazy heavy. This is just to kind of pass the time, shoot the shit a little bit, and make some profit out of it. We are starting to build some traction with consistent wins. So if you guys want to join on that little community, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to shoot you an invite link. But again, for now, we're no professional. We're just doing it for fun. It's not paid or anything, so don't think that I'm trying to sell you anything. This is just something that if you enjoy gambling, or if you enjoy sports betting, if you enjoy the sweat like I do, then definitely let me know. But aside from that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you tell the slip, if you would have changed something on the slip, and hopefully we cash so we can come back tomorrow for a $255 3-man play. Have a good one, guys.